I don't remember what was said when I caught you two in bed. But now I sit here drinking shit beer, chasing Johnny Walker Red. It's not the fact.
Okay, so here's the thing. I was an alcoholic stripping clown, which is a lot more common than you think. I have a lot of stories, some of which I even remember. The most traumatic being flipping a truck in the ditch, almost dying, spending the night in jail, then losing my job, house, friends, fiance, and freedom. A bunch of other stuff happened too. I quit drinking, and now I own and operate a burlesque circus empire. That was years ago, but I'm still trying to piece together, what the fuck? I'm clearheaded for the first time in my life, and I don't know how to be a human. The press release says, this is a recovery podcast featuring in-depth interviews with sober artists. But the truth is, I don't have any friends that don't drink. And I get lonely. So the podcast is a way for me to trick people to sit down and talk to me. We compare stories.
I asked the cop in the morning, I said, hey, how did you know I was drunk? He's like, oh, you had like a 18-pack of beer. And the bottom fell out of it, and all of the beers rolled into the street, and on all fours you were scooping them up as cars were whizzing past you.
Oh my God.
And I was like, oh, that sounds about right.
At a comics party, we had like a lot of Coke, and and I was having an okay time, and then I found out how much it costs, and I was like, you are fucking out of your mind. Do you know how much heroin you can buy for this amount of Coke? Like I was...
It's fiscally responsible.
There was never a drop of alcohol in our house the whole time. If I saw people drinking, I thought like, oh, that's so bad. Like, what sinners? They got divorced when I was 15. And so like they both just like went off the rails. Like, not only did they start drinking again, but they're also just like, oh, we're just going to have cocaine in our bedside table. Like, that's normal.
Oh
like, yeah. It was kind of crazy.
I was in a fetal position on the floor in the corner, freezing. The restroom was a toilet in the middle of the room.
Right. The holding cell thing?
Yeah, that thing. And there was zero cake. There was exactly zero cake.
Yeah, this guy's a little bit different.
So I went from starting my burlesque career to putting myself in an outpatient treatment program in 6 months.
Oh, wow.
Now, we got people losing homes and families and waking up in bed with 3/4 of the California Angel infield.
He's not talking about me, I hope. We also fight about who's more broken.
I used to like ask guys, I'd be like, punch me as hard as you can, like in the arm. And they'd be like, no, I'm not going to punch. Like, punch me. And like, they would
Come on, pussy.
So when I smoke weed, it makes me acutely aware of all my failures in life.
That's what I mean by paranoia.
I'm just like, just the whole like, oh, let's really analyze and become way more introspective. I'm like that. So it's not something I'm like, I already think about shit too much. I don't need that heightened.
If two people who I've never met before, about 8 tables down, get in an argument, I'm going to figure out what did I do. You know, I'm going to blame myself somehow.
Yeah.
And I thought to myself, oh, I have 3 months sober today. Cool. And no sooner had I had that thought than drunk brain jumped right into the party and said, you've got 3 months sober. Now is a good time for you because you've proven yourself. Go, girl. Go to the liquor store.
It's sometimes funny, sometimes serious, but mostly I'm just asking a bunch of people who are further along than me, how do you do this?
The advice thing is weird because I can't tell people. I'm like, well, let me tell you what I did. Mm-hmm. I didn't die and stayed alive till about 40. And then I went to jail for 6 months. So if you can do that.
Which like sometimes it can feel disheartening because it does feel like, oh my God, it's never going to end. Like there's always going to be something. But you're also like, well, that's life, I guess.
There is no answer. I don't have an answer for you.
God damn it, David. This podcast is over.
I legitimately don't know.
Is that a trend or I guess a thing that you see other people deal with, or am I just a psycho brain?
No, I do not think you are a psycho brain at all.
After a 15-year blackout, I'm just trying to learn how to be a person.
I always took responsibility in my own mind about how I behaved. I didn't try and,
Oh, what's that like?
Yeah.
Hi, my name's KiKi Maroon, and I'm a clown interrupted.
Now